Formula One, a sport once known for its exclusivity, has been transformed into a global phenomenon, reaching audiences far beyond its traditional fan base. And it's due in large part to Netflix and the documentary Formula One: Drive to Survive. The sport has always had off-track drama, and Netflix brought its global audience behind the scenes to feel all of the pressure, anxiety, and euphoria of sitting in a cockpit going 220 miles per hour against rivals with crazy stakes. How did this come to be? What were the players behind the scenes thinking when they cooked up this documentary? And what did it take to make it happen? Formula One's approach to marketing and television broadcasting has undergone significant changes over the decades, especially under the leadership of Bernie Ecclestone and later with Liberty Media's takeover. In the 1970s, when Ecclestone began consolidating his control over F1, the sport lacked a cohesive marketing strategy. Each race was individually negotiated and broadcasted, leading to inconsistent coverage. Over the decades, the marketing and television strategy of Formula One has evolved dramatically, particularly during the eras dominated by Bernie Ecclestone and later under the stewardship of Liberty Media. In the initial years of Ecclestone's leadership, which began in the 1970s, Formula One's approach to marketing was somewhat fragmented. Broadcasting rights for each race were negotiated individually, leading to inconsistent television coverage. However, Ecclestone was a visionary in commercializing the sport. He centralized these negotiations through the formation of Formula One Promotions and Administration, FOPA, later known as Formula One Management, FOM. This move allowed him to streamline TV rights management, transforming F1 into a lucrative commercial enterprise. These agreements, while financially beneficial, limited the sport's accessibility, confining it primarily to pay TV audiences. Additionally, Ecclestone implemented substantial hosting fees for circuits, shifting the sport's geography in favor of more financially lucrative locations, often at the expense of traditional European venues. During this era, F1's engagement with digital platforms was notably conservative. Ecclestone maintained a cautious approach, believing that digital broadcasting might undermine the value of TV rights. Consequently, the sport had a limited presence on emerging digital and social media platforms, missing opportunities to connect with a younger, more tech-savvy audience. The acquisition of F1 by Liberty Media in 2017 marked a significant shift. Liberty Media reimagined Formula One not just as a racing series, but as a global media brand. They embarked on a fan-centric strategy, enhancing F1's digital footprint. This included a more robust social media presence, the launch of F1 TV Pro for streaming races, and an array of digital content aimed at engaging a broader audience base. Liberty Media's approach focused on reaching new, younger audiences and expanding F1's popularity in less traditional markets, such as the United States. They introduced fan festivals and interactive experiences at race venues, significantly enhancing the overall fan experience. A key aspect of Liberty Media's strategy was forging partnerships with digital platforms, the most notable being with Netflix for the Drive to Survive series. This docuseries offered an intimate look into the world of Formula One, appealing to both die-hard fans and those unfamiliar with the sport. The content under Liberty Media became more diverse, featuring behind-the-scenes insights, driver profiles, and in-depth technical analyses, catering to a wide spectrum of viewers. This is where our story begins, with a sport ready to reach new heights and a series that would take it there. Enter Shawn Bratches, F1's former managing director of commercial operations. His vision? To bring viewers a behind-the-scenes look at the world of Formula One. But not just any behind the scenes, a look into multiple teams, the strategies, the rivalries. It was a bold idea, moving away from focusing solely on the race to showcasing the drama and personalities within. This was the seed that would grow into Drive to Survive. Before joining Formula One, Bratches had a significant tenure at ESPN, a major US-based sports broadcaster. During his time at ESPN, which spanned nearly 3 decades, Bratches was instrumental in developing and executing strategies that significantly expanded the network's reach and influence in the sports broadcasting realm. Bratches' extensive experience at ESPN, especially in a market as competitive and diverse as the United States, equipped him with unique insights into audience engagement and content distribution. He understood the power of storytelling and the importance of broadening the appeal of sports beyond the traditional fan base. When Bratches joined Formula One as the managing director of commercial operations in 2017, following the acquisition by Liberty Media, he brought with him this wealth of experience and a vision to transform the sport's media and commercial landscape. traditional broadcasts of races were no longer sufficient to captivate and expand the viewer base. Bratches recognized the need to showcase the sport's intricacies, including the strategies, rivalries, and personalities that make Formula One unique. His vision was to create a behind-the-scenes series that would provide a multi-dimensional view of Formula One, not just focusing on what happens on the track, but also what occurs off it. Bratches aimed to capture the human drama, the stories of true miles per hour and defeat, the team dynamics, and the sheer emotion that underpins the sport. This approach was radically different from traditional sports broadcasting, which often focused solely on the events of the race days. Drive to Survive was a bold move, as it involved granting unprecedented access to the teams and drivers, something that was previously tightly controlled. This access was crucial in capturing the candid moments that would engage viewers. Bratches' idea was to break down the barriers between the teams and the fans, allowing viewers to connect more deeply with the sport. He wanted to bring fans closer to the personal stories and the inner workings of the teams, which are often overshadowed by the on-track action. The series was a gamble, but Bratches' expertise and foresight paid off. Drive to Survive became a massive hit, attracting a new audience to Formula One and reinvigorating the existing fan base. It offered an intimate, unfiltered look at the world of Formula One, humanizing the drivers and teams and showcasing the sport in a way that had never been done before. Now, how did Drive to Survive come to life? Enter Box-to-Box Films. Led by James Gay Reese and Paul Martin, Box-to-Box Films is known for its distinctive approach to storytelling, focusing not just on the sport itself, but on the human stories and drama that unfold within it. James Gay Reese, with a background in producing critically acclaimed documentaries, brings a wealth of experience in capturing compelling narratives. He is particularly renowned for his work on Senna, a documentary about the legendary Formula One driver Ayrton Senna. This film was praised for its emotive storytelling and deep dive into the life and career of Senna, far beyond his accomplishments on the track. Paul Martin, another key figure at Box-to-Box Films, complements Gay Reese with his expertise in sports-related content. When Formula One was looking to revolutionize its approach to broadcasting and fan engagement, Box-to-Box Films emerged as a natural partner. Their track record in producing sports documentaries that transcended the traditional boundaries of sports broadcasting aligned perfectly with F1's new vision under Liberty Media and Shawn Bratches. The success of Senna was a testament to Box-to-Box Films' ability to delve into the soul of a sport and its participants, making their stories relatable and compelling to a wide audience. This capability was exactly what F1 needed for Drive to Survive, a series that aimed to go beyond the surface of racing and delve into the personalities, politics, and emotions of the sport. Their expertise in storytelling was crucial in portraying the complex world of Formula One in a way that was not just informative, but also emotionally engaging. They understood how to balance the technical aspects of the sport with personal stories, creating a narrative that could captivate both hardcore fans and those new to the world of Formula One. The initial idea was fascinating, a behind-the-scenes look into Red Bull racing, but as the concept evolved, so did the scope. Why limit to one when you can showcase the entire F1 paddock? This shift was pivotal. It meant capturing stories from every corner of the grid, from the champions to the underdogs. Each team, each driver had a story worth telling. This expansion was not just about covering more ground, it was about depth, about showcasing the intricacies of F1 that the average viewer might not see. The strategy meetings, the split-second decisions, the rivalries, the camaraderie, Drive to Survive was set to reveal the world behind the helmet visor. Filming a series like this, though, was no small feat. The production team had to be everywhere, all the time. Creating Drive to Survive was an extraordinary undertaking, akin to choreographing a complex ballet across continents, amid the fast-paced and often secretive world of Formula One. The film crew, under the direction of Box-to-Box Films, embarked on a globe-trotting journey, covering races from the glittering streets of Singapore to the historic circuit of Monza in Italy. Each location posed unique challenges, diverse weather conditions, varied track configurations, and local logistical hurdles. The crew's adaptability was key as they seamlessly transitioned from the humid, tropical settings of the Malaysian Grand Prix to the unpredictable weather of the Belgian Grand Prix at Spa. Gaining intimate access to the teams and drivers was a feat in itself. Formula One teams are notorious for their guarded nature, especially during race weekends when the pressure is at its peak. The production team had to negotiate delicately for access, gradually earning the trust of teams and drivers. This painstaking process enabled them to capture the raw, unfiltered moments that define the series. The tension in strategy meetings, the emotional exchanges between drivers and their engineers, and the quiet contemplation of a racer before the storm of competition. The crew's agility was paramount as they sought to document the spontaneous moments away from the asphalt. A driver's frustration after a disappointing qualifying, the charged atmosphere in the paddock, and the complex dynamics within teams. The tightly packed Formula One calendar added another layer of complexity. With races held back-to-back across different continents, the production team faced a logistical jigsaw. They had to efficiently move equipment and personnel, often crossing time zones and continents within a few days, to keep pace with the F1 circus. The advent of the COVID-19 pandemic introduced unprecedented challenges. Amidst race cancellations and a reshuffled calendar, the crew had to adapt to new safety protocols, navigate travel restrictions, and find innovative ways to continue filming. This often meant relying on remote interviews and utilizing local crew members, a significant deviation from their usual methods. In 2022, Formula One marked a significant year of growth, showing impressive strides in revenue and viewership, particularly when juxtaposed with major American sports leagues like the NFL and NBA. This surge reflects the sport's expanding global appeal, spurred by initiatives like Drive to Survive. Formula One's revenue for the 2022 calendar year climbed to $2.573 billion, a notable increase from $2.136 billion in 2021. This jump in profitability underscores the sport's rising commercial success. In terms of viewership, Formula One reached a staggering 1.54 billion viewers globally, with an average of 70 million viewers per race. The US market, in particular, witnessed a 36% increase in viewership, a clear indication of Formula One's growing appeal in a region historically dominated by domestic sports. The attendance figures were equally impressive. Over 5 million spectators attended Formula One races throughout the year, with the United States Grand Prix alone drawing 440,000 fans, the highest for any race in 2022. These numbers not only speak to the sport's growing popularity, but also to its expanding reach beyond traditional European markets. When compared to the NFL and NBA, Formula One's growth trajectory becomes even more striking. The NFL, a behemoth in the American sports landscape, generated about $18.6 billion in revenue in 2022, with national revenue reaching a high of $11.9 billion. However, its average audience for the regular season experienced a slight dip, dropping 3% to 16.7 million viewers. Despite this, the NFL maintained its position as the most watched sport in the US, with a considerable average viewership. The NBA, known for its global appeal, especially in Asian markets, reported a total revenue of approximately $10.58 billion during the 2022-23 season. However, it saw a slight decline in viewership, with an average of 1.59 million viewers tuning in for regular season games across its broadcasting networks. These comparisons highlight several key insights. Formula One's remarkable growth in viewership and revenue, especially in the US, showcases the sport's burgeoning popularity and its successful penetration into a market traditionally ruled by the likes of the NFL and NBA. The sport's ability to attract new and younger audiences, significantly aided by Drive to Survive, is reshaping the landscape of international sports broadcasting and fandom. While the NFL continues to reign in terms of overall revenue and viewership, Formula One's trajectory is indicative of its rising global stature. The NBA, though maintaining a strong global presence, contrasts with Formula One's burgeoning appeal in non-traditional markets like the US. Formula One's performance in 2022 paints a picture of a sport on the ascent, successfully expanding its reach and engaging new fan bases across the globe. This growth, particularly in comparison with established American sports leagues, marks a significant milestone in Formula One's journey towards becoming a truly global sporting powerhouse.
If you liked this video, please let us know by clicking like, commenting, or subscribing. It's the best way for us to know how to refine the channel going forward.